Okay, we're gonna do a little something different today. I'm I'm going to more or less be doing these more on my own without having an intro and things like that. And so I'm going to say welcome back to Cosmic Consciousness. And what I'm going to talk about today on the show here is everything that's been going on lately with the whole Cat Williams thing. I mean, I've listened to quite a few videos. I've listened to the buzz that's going on out there and the responses from the different people that he mentioned in his interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay. And I'm just going to just give you a kind of a breakdown of how I see and took Cat's comments and by the things he was saying. Now, with that being said, congratulations to Shannon. He's over 47 million views, and I think in just about 9 days. I mean, that's big. So, congratulations to Shannon Sharpe, Club Shay Shay. Now, I watched that whole interview. I thought it was a good interview. Now, some of the things that Cat Williams said to me, I found to be very deep. And then, everybody stretches the truth every now and then. And I did a little research on some joke stealing, and it seems like everybody in that industry steals jokes. Even Bernie Mac himself. I actually saw a video with a kid doing a joke that Bernie Mac did the exact same joke. No disrespect to his dad, but I saw the video and it seemed quite the same. Now, with that being said, is they all do it. It's their profession. It's in that world. And what I mean by that world, that is a different world because I was in the entertainment industry myself, so I do understand that world and how that world works. And we all know, for those of us that have been in that world that are no longer in that world, we know if you want to make it big or move up, you got to do some things, okay? That's just a requirement, okay? So I'm speaking from personal experience by being in the industry because I've done movies, I did commercials, I was in that industry. So with that being said, now the whole Cat Williams thing and some of the things that he said, when he particularly said it's God's side and there's the others, it's the other side. I'm like, okay, Cat, that's where you got me. Because you see exactly what pretty much everybody else is starting to see on this planet. I told y'all there was a shift. A lot of y'all don't understand it in the spiritual sense, but you are beginning to see it in the physical sense. Because it's just that time. But anyways, now when he said that, I understood exactly what he meant by that. Because it is God's side and the other side. I mean, I'm seeing everything from T.D. Jakes, Puffy, Jay-Z, everybody's starting to see how these people operate on the other side. It's not God's side, it's the other side. So people are aware of this now. And that's all that's happening. Like Kat said, it's the moment of truth. All lies are going to be exposed and the truth is coming out. That's it. And a lot of you can't handle the truth because you've been used to lies. And it's just that simple. From education to religion to politics to everything. You know everything in this physical world. Once you wake up and see it for what it is, it's a lot of lies. It's just that most of you aren't aware of that because you're too busy in your own world focusing on what, just your world. You don't learn how to expand your awareness outside of your realm, the way you see things. There's many worlds out here. There's many perspectives. And the ones that you choose to entertain are the ones that are pretty much going to shape your reality. So if you're entertaining the physical world's perspective all the time and you're getting caught up with these celebrities and, they really influence you, okay, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. And that's what's happening right now. So even through religion, the same thing. Man, I ain't seen so many religious people arguing amongst each other there right now. It's funny. Once you see it from my perspective, trust me, all of it's funny in the long run. It's all funny. Because you see what's going on. And you understand that there's a light and there's a dark. And the dark is being exposed by the light. And they just can't take it. That's all it is. They can't take it. But it is what it is. So like I said, you're going to have to choose a side. Now, another thing. In order for you to really see this in the perspective that needs to be seen in, you're going to have to learn and grow more in a spiritual sense. I'm telling you right now, you have to grow in a spiritual sense. You can't grow in it's not, it has nothing to do with religion. That's part of the switch. That's part of the shift. You have to shift your consciousness from a religious perspective to more of an individual inside spiritual perspective. As long as you learn how to go in, that's all spiritual. That has nothing to do with religion. And see, that's where the religious people are afraid. They are afraid to come outside of the book of being the Bible and just look at like, let me learn about God by going within. Let me just entertain that idea. Put that just to the side. I ain't telling you to forget it. Just put it to the side for a minute. And just see if you can think outside of the box. You know that when you want to know truth, all you have to do is listen to your heart. You know this. So that's telling you that going within and connecting more in a spiritual sense makes more sense than the outer perspective. Even with what's going on in today now, it's making the Bible seem like, hey, see, this is all true. See, it's in the Bible. And I'm gonna be real with you. That was still being applied when I first came upon this planet back in the day. It's the same thing. I mean, it really is. It's the same thing. And I start thinking to myself, I'm like, it's the same thing. Now I'm starting to put it all together like it's like a trap in your consciousness. They're trapping you to think the same thing, and they're using the same tactics of scare and fearing you and hell and all this negative energy. All of that stuff is negative energy. Now, energy is everything. Consciousness. I'm starting to wonder if any of you religious people even understand that term. Consciousness, which is part of you. You have a consciousness. Have you ever thought of using your consciousness? Not a belief system. You're using a belief system. You're not even using your own consciousness. So, if you want to learn how to use your own consciousness, you must learn how to think from within, not without. Just try it. That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to try it eventually. This is what we're moving into. This is what the shift was all about. Shift your consciousness from an outer perspective to the inner perspective. Let the inner side lead you while you're here on this planet, not the outer. This is where we are now. It's taken a few of you a little bit to understand it, but you know there's too much going on in this world today with the wars, all of the weather. A lot of stuff seems to be very bad in the physical sense. It does. It does. If you look at it in the physical sense, it seems like it's hell on earth. A government is being exposed. It's been being exposed, but it's really being exposed now. It's like people are waking up and seeing this stuff for what it is. It's the Grand Awakening. That's what it's called, the awakening. And a lot of you are just not waking up to see it. That's okay. You don't have to awake now. That's your choice. Doesn't mean that others aren't doing it and others aren't seeing it and awakening. This is why all this truth is coming to light. And all the people that be living lies, believing all the lies, going along with the norm, it's making you feel some type of way right now. This is a time for, it's a planet cleanse, and everybody has to start being able to check themselves and search their own souls to really figure out why they're here on this planet. Not just going to work, not just doing your job, being told what to do. No, this is the time you have to soul search to say, why am I even on this planet? When you see the outside world is a mess. You see it. So you got to start asking yourself, why am I here? Yeah, that's the time we're in. A lot of you been avoiding this. You don't take time to put the work in on this because you're too caught up in the other world, the physical world. Well, hey, you're going to have to put the work in now. Now you're really going to have to understand that you really got to try to get in tune with yourself spiritually. Yeah, you're going to have to put the work in. Even you too, religious people. You guys been following some book for so long that you don't even know who you are from within. You don't even know who you are from within. You should be able to tell me that. If you believe in God so much, how come you don't know the God within your own self? How come you don't understand true spirituality? All of this stuff is within you. You just got to learn how to listen to your heart. Instead of you saying, yes, I never really listened to my heart like that, and I never really took the time to understand life from that perspective. I mean, you might as well be truthful with yourself. That's what I'm saying. We're in an age of truth. That's what that means. Be truthful with your own self when it comes to learning and growing spiritually, not religiously. Learning and growing spiritually. Connecting to your higher self. Two natures, a low one and a high one. Which one are you more connected to? You know you have them both. Which one do you listen to more? Which one has been teaching you more about life? The higher one or the lower one? Which one have you been giving all the credit to or following? These are questions you have to answer within yourself, humans. This is why I say humans, because you're still stuck in your human nature. You haven't crossed over to your true spiritual nature. And for those of us that have done this, it ain't hard for us to tell the ones that haven't. It is time for you to wake up. Period. Now, I'm going to go ahead and end this video because I just kind of want to talk a little bit, like I said, about the whole Cat Williams thing. And, I'm watching all these people, give their commentary on it. And another thing, have you ever noticed that for people that have their own channels and doing what I'm doing, all they're doing is just telling you things how they see it from their perspective. That's all this is. That's all they're doing nowadays. Everybody's going to tell you what they see and how they see the world from their perspective. Okay. The only thing that's different with me is I'm looking at the world from a collective. It's not just from my perspective. This is a universal perspective. That's what it means to be tapped in. You're tapped into the universal consciousness. We know there's only one God. There's always only been one God. And there's only one way. And that way is within. So, like I said, find the time to stop and rest so you can pass heaven's test. Or else this physical world will wear you down. And it's wearing a lot of you down. I can see it. Because you're lost. You're caught up in the physical world. You're getting caught up in all the drama and the war. You're getting caught up in all these new diseases and all this fear-based tactics. The fear, the fear, the fear. Even as far as the aliens in Miami in the mall. Look at all this stuff just being shown nowadays. Look at everything that's coming out about the UFOs when they had evidence about that in, 1940? Why are they revealing all of this stuff to you now? That's the question. Why now? You've had it all along. Why are you doing it now? Because we're just in those times. It's that time to make a choice. You either for the light or you for the dark. It's being put right in front of your face every day. Even in your jobs. So, you still have to choose. Even though you go home from your job, you still got to choose which side you rocking with. You for the light or for the dark. So like I said, find a time to stop and rest. So you can pass heaven's test. Or else the physical world will wear you down. Where you cannot find the smallest sound. Or hear it either. And when the force speaks to you, you're going to miss the meaning and not follow through. A lot of you are missing the meaning because you're so caught up in the physical world. You're putting all of your energy into that world. And I noticed that a lot of you influencers out here, you're pushing a narrative of fear. You're trying to keep people in fear, meaning you're playing the same game that they're playing. You're trying to deceive. If you guys are so more caught up in the spiritual world, you would be talking more about it. At least in your videos, you can talk from both perspectives. Don't just talk from a physical perspective. You can talk from a spiritual perspective as well as, shall I say. You can talk from both perspectives. And whichever perspective you spend more time on, that lets me know which frequency you're rocking with. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with understanding the physical world and maneuvering in it. But that's not the true world. The true world is the spirit world, the world that comes from within. That's the true world. Like I said, there's many ways to look at this. There's many perspectives and there's different levels of consciousness. A lot of you are still stuck in a lower vibration, in a lower frequency, and a lower consciousness mindset. This is why I do these videos, to give you some insight that there is other ways, other perspectives. But it's all for light now. It's all to expand your awareness, open your minds, move ahead, get up out of this low vibration of this physical realm and all this negative energy. Raise your consciousness. Thank you.